There we go. All right, it started. Okay, so just a quick recap of what took place. You were given a, um, you were kind of hired by a guy named Dorovar from Baldur's Gate, the elf song, to find a sage who is very learned in the ways of curses. He believes there's a curse that kind of had befallen his town, the town of Helmsfirth, and is looking for the sage Matreus. You were hired to find him in Candlekeep, which is where he thinks his last location was. So you head out there, you make it into Candlekeep, and went on a little bit of a search, or at least a little bit of an investigation to find out where Matreus is. It turns out Matreus was probably there for the last few weeks, and hadn't been seen in at least 2 weeks. After a little bit further digging, you guys split up, and each of you found a number of clues that all, I believe, were corroborated by the other. But Coneth, I believe you were the one that went to the Pillars of Pedagogy, where where seekers such as yourself or anybody who's looking for information and comes to Candlekeep and wants to study it, are the Pillars of Pedagogy is where you go to study what you're, study the subject that you're looking for. So you found out that Matreus had rented a room there and had not been seen since. You investigate the room and find a book. The book is called The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces, something that a few of you had been uncovering that he had great interest in. And you also even uncovered that he was really interested in the works of Fistandia, the mage, who was into into extra-dimensional spaces. So, after examining the book, you found in the margins there were some notes taken, or shorthand that was handwritten in there. Unsure who wrote that, but either way, you wrote it down. So, because you weren't really able to take the book down out of there, Coneth, and you went back to the hearth where you met with the rest of the group, and there was Mazar sitting down, having a drink, and he was able to decipher the shorthand for you, and found out that there was a command word that it is believed that whatever, we don't know what the command word does entirely. You could surmise what it does, but the word is scepter. I believe the party at that point, I know I'm leaving some stuff out, but the party at that point decided to go back to the room and possibly, I don't know, use the command word or investigate it further. So you went back to the Pillars of Pedagogy. You were by yourselves. It's just you, the party. At this point, the elf at the front desk just wanted to go home. It's getting late. Decided that Coneth seems good enough, upstanding enough. Seems, your lawfulness just kind of like, you have this aura.
Got
you have a halo around your head.
I took back my signet and my letter of pedigree. So I got it back. So they know who they're dealing with.
Oh, you have great lineage, my friend. I could see. I could tell. I have no idea who they are. I don't believe they're from this world.
All I have is while you're talking, all I do is I hear Beavis in my head just going scepter, 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 scepter. That's what I want. Beavis it's in that room. All he wants to do is say scepter.
All right.
It's a mix of the desire to actually leave and to just not care what else is going on, I think. This is above my pay grade. Let's just walk away and leave them to whatever the hell they're doing.
So you walk through the front gate of the Pillars of Pedagogy, which is that house that you see there in that picture that is on your screen. You walk through the path, and you go into the tower. Let's say it's the largest tower that you see right in the middle, that big one smack in the middle. You head up all the stairs, and there you are at the room with the big wooden door. And as you could see from the outside, it is a stone building, a stone cylindrical building. You go inside, you open the door, and it's a room. The walls are all stone. You have a wooden desk. You have books about, you could tell that, I guess, Matreus was studying things, but the book that the book of interest is right there on the desk, open to the page with the shorthand, just as you left it. Coneth.
Well, my recollection was that my recollection was when we ended the last session, we were in the room. We had tried to search it. We didn't really find anything of any interest. You guys looked at did we look at the book otherwise? I think somebody did.
Did we look? Because I would
I would recommend if we haven't.
You looked.
Yeah, somebody else.
And then we got there, and then we hadn't We were like, okay, let's continue on next session.
Well, unless someone's going to say the command word right now, I would like to cast Detect Magic as a ritual. And I'm sure I'm sure maybe the tower itself might have magical properties, but if there's anything else in the room.
Mordenkainen's. What's the book about dimensional spaces? The Joys of Dimensional Spaces? Is that what it was called?
It's The Joy of Extradimensional Spaces.
Yeah.
If you want to see the picture, you can go into the investigator and I like the picture.
The picture's great. Nice face. Gary Gygax would be horrified. Okay. Why am I having trouble? There it goes. So what's happening? So you're doing.
Okay, so you're okay. So Yildrin, you are. I guess. Is this a ritual? Are you able to do rituals?
Yes. Clerics, I believe, get ritual casting.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you will use that. You will do that as a ritual then. Okay. So you're kind of preparing it and meditating, and you're preparing it. Is anybody doing anything else while the
Oh, I'm just watching.
Just watching. Okay, you're watching him meditate.
Scepter.
Well, are you saying it?
No, I'm not saying it. That's just what's going through his head.
Okay.
I'll poke around the book.
It's going through my head. It's not going through Connor's head. Connor is a better person than me. You have to understand that. Connor is a much better person than I will ever be.
The puppet master.
Going through my head. I'm sorry?
It's the puppet master that's the concern, not Connor itself.
Exactly.
I'll poke around the other books and see if there's anything interesting, concerning. Would you like me to roll for this?
You can roll an investigation. You can roll an investigation or a perception. Perception would be good if you just kind of want to see if you happen to notice anything. Investigation is if there's anything in particular you want to examine.
I'm just gonna do a general look. So
okay, then the perception I think would be good.
Oh, that was almost 20.
I missed it. So in other words, it was rolling and it was on 20 and just kind of flipped over last
No,
second?
it was like teetering between 8 and 20.
Oh. You gotta love that.
I like just the numbers appearing. I don't want to know how close it was anymore.
Just give me 1 second.
So I got a 13. What does that say?
You're not really noticing anything out of the ordinary other than you got, kind of like bare wall. This is kind of like a room that's on the inside. There's no windows, so it's just like you got you're surrounded by walls, really. Kind of 4 walls.
I was looking at the
out of the ordinary with the walls. They just stone walls.
Okay. The other books, though? Or do you want me to do investigation on that one? Because you said there's more than just that one.
Yeah, there's other books there. There's other books that have something to do with, evocation. You have some books that have to do with, divination, I guess. Hang on a second.
Nothing that really connects anything together. It's just general knowledge.
Well, I mean,
Or if it is,
some
he's
things
picking out specific
related to the. I mean, you see, there's a few things that actually talk about the whole concept of extra-dimensional spaces. It's basically, you if you flip through it, some of the books, you might see things like, how the bag of holding works, and there's things like the tiny Leoman's tiny hut. There might be some excerpts about that. Okay. Yildren, when you cast Detect Magic, you don't really see much of anything that looks like active magic. I will give you that you see what might be a signature, just kind of like sparking throughout the room. And the signature magic, I believe... I think it would be divination is what is how you pick it up.
Okay. I'll let the party know.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
Do we know what that means?
No, I think it's more like transmutation. Sorry about that. My apologies.
Okay.
Transmutation is what you see. Sparks of transmutation, hints of it. Let's just say there's a slight periodic spark that you kind of notice. But other than that, nothing's really happening at the moment.
Who wants the honors of using the command word?
Whoever would like to do it. We know it's going through my head.
I'm okay. Here's the thing. I'm okay with Kana doing it because I think he's like the only non-magic user in the party, and I think it's fair that
That's fair.
he gets the joy. Maybe this
The
way.
joy of seeing something.
The joy of extra-dimensional spaces will be Kanath's.
So I turned to Ildred. Do I need to like waggle my fingers or anything when I say it?
Just say the word.
See, you missed the opportunity. You could have told him to waggle his fingers and do a little dance at the same time.
Right. All right.
Yes, but I'm not the evil character.
Me. Scepter.
As soon as you say scepter, Kanath, no sooner did you utter the letter R coming out of your mouth. The whole room turns blinding light, and Yildren, it is especially blinding to you because the color of transmutation it fills your brain, it fills your soul, almost like you were just hit. You almost feel like you should be pushed against the wall, like splattered against the wall from the amount of energy that was just created. As the blinding light and the sound of whatever sound, whatever that.
That's cool.
As your eyes adjust and the light starts to dissipate and dim, you could see in the wall in front of you. Actually, let's say you're at the desk, and to the side is this big, what looks like a portal of shimmering purple and white lights, just kind of like just shimmering. You can't really see what's beyond it. But one thing you do notice is as the seconds go by, it does seem to be dimming, and it's noticeably dimming.
Well, I guess this is where we'll find our guy.
First person to say it gets to go through the portal first.
First person what?
First person, the person who said it gets to go through the portal first.
All right, so what's the marching order?
I'm heading in. Connor, I'm going to take a step in.
Okay.
I'll go in second.
Steps in. You guys following?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Party goes in. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Just bear with me. I'm just going to prepare things. Wow, I didn't realize how big this was. Okay. Connor, are you still hurt? Did you ever heal?
No, we never. I don't think we ever took a long rest.
You never did. Well,
we ever took I don't even think we took a short rest.
I don't know if you ever did.
I couldn't remember if we.
We took a short rest because I am not. I am. Where's my hit point? No, I don't even think we took a short rest.
Whoops.
All right.
Okay. All All right. I'm not going to share a map just yet, but what I'm going to do is so you guys walk in, and when you walk into this portal, what you're walking into is this portal of shimmering light. You feel this odd sensation of just like you're like half as you're passing through, your body feels like it's being pulled from this world and into another world. But when you come through,
I yawn. I'm like,
yeah, you come through,
yeah.
and it's almost like you get this sense of dizziness, and then you finally come to, and what you see is you're kind of like in a foyer, like a foyer in a hallway.
Oh, yeah, yes.
So the ceilings arch probably about 15 feet overhead, and you have like ahead of you, you're kind of like in a foyer, but ahead of you is kind of like this long hallway going in both directions. So it's like you have a foyer, probably about a 10 by 10 room, but the corners of the room are like hallway. So it looks like it stretches all the way down in both directions, kind of like east and west.
Is it like full stone? Like, is it a full
no,
stone?
No. So it's like kind of like really nice wooden floors and let's see. So let's see, what kind of information do I have to give you here? Where did it tell me this? Just to give you some information. Well, it's like it's actually decorated nicely, but not like overly nice. You have like wooden floors, and some of the walls are stone, but not stone, but stone accents, and it's kind of nice actually. It looks like a pretty nice place. But what you also see in front of you is kind of like a middle-aged man wearing these gray robes, and as you walk in, he kind of turns around. Now, before as you're looking around, also, and you see him, he turns around at you. But you also notice behind you that portal that you went through looks like doors, like as if you just went through double doors, wooden doors that are bronze accented doors, right? So as you come through, the door closes, and there they are. You have these doors, but you also do notice that these doors are starting to fade too. So the man turns around and he's startled. Oh! You figured it out!
Matthias, I presume.
Ah, you figured it out! You were able to open the door! I've been waiting days, hoping somebody would come along.
Are you Matthias?
Yes, I am Matthias. Who are you?
Please don't tell me we're stuck.
Are we all here? Are we all in the
Yeah, I have you all in the room. I'll share this map, by the way.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, great, if you're stuck here, the first words out of your mouth should be like, "No, hold the door open." Like,
well,
you found it.
So I'm assuming you're talking like this, right? Or is this out of character?
I think maybe a little in character. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying something like that. He says, "As a matter of fact, I believe you're right. We don't have much time." And you see here, he's kind of like he's wearing these robes. He's actually holding a statue. And he says, "Oh, this place is amazing, but I've been trying to figure out how to open the door once I'm inside. I know how to do it on the outside. And in fact, I've done a little bit of research while I was here, and I think
Let's get out now.
What's that?
Let's talk about it outside.
Well,
Yeah.
before
On the other side of it.
Well, before before you get there, he says, "Listen, I need your help. Actually, I know enough now. After my research, I can keep that door open from the outside. I need a few books that I have not been able to gather, and I wanted to bring them out. If you would do me a favor and grab them for me, and I'll keep that door open, and you can come out, and then we can talk. But we're running out of time." So he's
Inside check. I don't want to. You know what this sounds like?
Roll an insight.
There's a myth. There's a myth of involving Atlas. You guys are familiar with the Greek myth?
Does Connor know about this myth with Atlas?
No, but Connor is suspicious.
Okay.
Well,
You
also, we've never
absolutely
met.
could be. You don't know the guy, of course. Insight.
I don't know
He
the
could be
guy.
a doppelganger. He could be a devil.
Okay. In fact, you could all roll an insight. Why don't you all roll insight? Because you're all listening to him, unless you choose not to.
No, yes. I think.
Oh,
There
I
we go.
credit.
All right.
Nobody needs to roll anymore.
Damn it, almost a 17.
Coneth, you have no reason not to believe him.
almost a one on my
He's
screen.
clearly, first of all, he was startled. And second of
Okay.
all, you detect that he was extremely happy to see you. Because now
Right.
he could kind of move on with what he needs to move on with, and now he knows that we're not going to be trapped. So your insight tells
Oh, and
you...
I'm trusting. Yeah.
What's that?
And I'm a trusting guy.
Yeah,
once
your
my
insight tells you that he's on the up and up. He's actually
Right.
you get the impression that he's actually a kind of like a good person.
Very good. I'll say tell us where to find these.
So
these
so
books.
so well yeah, we have a little time, but he basically says to you what you looking for me specifically? You knew my name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get your books. We'll talk more about it when we get out of here. I just don't want to be trapped.
Good idea. Let me go out. Meanwhile, the door is starting to fade, and it's getting pretty dim. He goes, "Oh, we're running out of time." So let me. I can't wait to examine this as well. But but you get me those books, I'll keep the door open from the outside. I've learned enough where I believe I could do that. So he just
All right,
kind of
just tell us where to go.
what's that?
Tell us where to go.
The rooms around. Please, this place is a treasure trove of information. Not only the books that I'm looking for, and you'll notice that you'll know them because you must have seen my book outside. The one, not my book, the one I took out, the one with I believe. Did you know who Mordenkainen is? There's a
Yes.
few others that have his picture on it as well. Look for
Okay.
those. So he opens the door, and he's holding a statue in his hand. He's like eager to, as he looks at the statue, he looks at you and says, "Okay, please, I'll discuss everything else with you afterwards." He closed the door, and as soon as the door shuts, you hear this. I had to do it, Wilhelm. You hear the shriek, "Ah!" and the door just kind of vanishes. Now you have a solid wall.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well,
So, who wants to bet that he's dead?
Now we think he's on the other side. Well, we don't see him. We think he's on the other side
You
of the
cannot
door.
see him. As the door shut, about a second later, you hear the scream, and the door just kind of like disappears. You are now inside the mansion. I'm going to
at
take.
this point, we might as well just look for a way out as well as anything, that might be useful.
All right. Well, so I guess
Right.
is there a map for this, or we'll just split up?
I shared the map. Did you not see it? I'll reshare
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Thank you.
I
And
see
I
it.
just
Okay.
accidentally closed it.
Well, let's go. Let's stay together. I don't think we should split up.
Let's definitely stay together. So the whole place is well lit, right?
Yeah, actually, the place is well lit. You see, if you look at the map, there's actually I created light sources there. So
Okay.
everybody,
Perfect.
even with dark vision or not dark vision, should be able to see at least down the corridors to a certain degree. Fairly well
I'm
lit.
guessing
Where's-
those are doors. I'm seeing three
Where's-
doors on
Yep,
each side.
you'll see doors. I'll point. There's a door here. There's a door over here. So you basically have a long hallway.
Mhm.
And there are various doors. Let me just actually change this. Okay.
So, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The place looks nice, right? It's not dusty. It looks well kept.
No, it's actually a fairly nice place. I mean, this is a. You didn't get to speak too much to Betrayus, but has anybody adept in Arcana?
Certainly not.
You can still roll an
I guess
Arcana. It doesn't really. It
the word
doesn't stop you
scepter
from
is
rolling.
probably the most most magical I've
This
ever
is
been.
one of my trademark dumb characters.
Oh, great.
I mean, I think I've got a +2 in it, but I'm not proficient.
Congratulations. You are
You are the smart.
arcane expert.
Okay, well, I'll roll, see what happens.
Mm.
7. Not familiar.
You're not familiar with what this really is, but you are, you definitely feel like you're just not in the world that you grew up in. And Coneth,
Okay.
I'm going to say that even without an Arcana check, you have almost like this familiar feeling because of your backstory. You are not from this world and kind of know what it's like to go from universe to universe.
The feeling I was like,
You were
I
kind of
probably
pulled, like you sucked out. It's almost like a weird, let's just say, somewhat nauseating feeling for a few seconds at least. You just like, ugh, and your body just as it just kind of like it just kind of transfers. Half of it at one point was in one dimension, and the other is in another dimension. I'll just say that you feel like you're in another dimension, but
yes,
very real dimension.
So this is what it's like to get a dagger. Okay. Yeah, let's just. I'll follow you guys. I'm not. Other than the fact that I've been to a different world, it's not like I understand what I'm in, or understand the magic involved in this.
Let me actually. Dote, you seem like someone who's good at picking locks.
So let me know where you would like to go.
I didn't know you were capable of such insight.
What actually? Let me describe a little bit more. So basically, in this hallway, next to Coneth, to the north of Coneth, to the northeast of Coneth, is actually a stairway. It looks like it's going. I believe that's going up.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if anything, maybe check this floor first. I think I'll just move up to this door because...
I apologize. I think that might be going down. Nope, it's going up. Sorry about that.
Because Matthias didn't warn us about any particular dangers or traps, and if he was here alone...
He probably should have run into them slightly.
Yeah, or he would have been maybe more eager to be like, hey, let's just get out of here.
Yeah, let's all go.
Was that door
open? Let's all go.
I apologize. That door was not supposed to be open, but it's okay.
The door behind me, that was the one that we came through, or is that an actual door?
The door behind you is actually, pretend that door doesn't exist. It's,
okay.
I'm sorry, the door behind you was where those doors were, but those doors are no longer there.
Ah, okay.
That's what I thought.
Right. That's where the portal was. Yeah.
So where is it? Where's the portal? Right where Fred is?
Right south.
Right behind me,
yeah.
That's southern door.
Okay.
Okay, I'll check the handle on this door. Actually, yeah, I have no reason to believe it'll be trapped.
Okay. All right, I'll have you guys go.
I'll join you over there.
Oh, sorry about Fred. I accidentally hit the wrong thing. Okay.
That's okay. I can move again.
Yep, I can just drag you there. I'll just put you right over there. Okay.
Somebody tried
all right. You open the door. Hang on one second.
But is it nobody's tried the door by Frit just to see what happens if you open it?
No, there's no door there.
It doesn't exist.
The map has it, but there's actually no door. That's the wall. Remember that's where the portal was, and the door disappears.
Right.
Yeah. So let's just forget that door. If you open, there's nothing to open. Okay. So you peek into the room, and this room contains a battered wooden mannequin and a weapon rack, which is off to the western wall. When looking at the weapon rack, did I open the door or not? Is it open?
I didn't think. Okay, now.
Okay. When looking at the weapon rack, you see that it looks like it's holding a bunch of staffs and some daggers, and everything is kind of lit in this room. The lighting in this room is lit with this kind of like an indigo tinted light, and it's streaming through the window. The floor is stained. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a window at the end. In fact, let's open the window so you can kind of. Is it open now?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the outside looks like from here.
So the floor is also. You notice that the floor is stained and it's scorched, and at the far end of the room, there's a broom that's hovering in the air.
Is it also slightly waterlogged? Do we have a mouse with a magic hat on kicking around somewhere too? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. The room is scorched. Interesting. Should I detect the magic again, or? Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Well, I'll detect magic.
I don't feel like It's better to be safe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like it might be tricky walking to this room, but I can detect magic, and if Dote wants to open the,
Yeah.
I think there's a door
So
in front of
just so
him.
you know, that broom that's hovering is also kind of like periodically coming around and sweeping. It's sweeping the floor.
Maybe it's just the cleaning service.
Maybe it's just a cleaning service. And this is the combat room. It's not a broom of fireball.
No, it's just sweeping. I would say that if anything, it looks kind of like a room where maybe someone would practice their weapons or maybe some magic.
Does
Okay.
the broom? Is it only in one spot? Is it broom? Is it brushing just sweeping one specific spot, or is it actually going around the room?
No, it's moving
somebody-
around. It's just kind of like going from place to place, and it looks like it's just like sweeping the floor.
You know, I'll walk up to the window. I want to see what I want to know what I see outside.
All right.
I go to the broom and I say, "You missed a spot right over here." And I point right by my foot.
Okay, so are you going into the room, Connor?
Yeah, I'll go into the room. Yeah,
Okay.
and I say that. Just kind of curious to see what happens.
The broom does not speak. It lacks a mouth.
Right, but does it come over? Just does it go to my point? So you miss a spot right here. I point to the bottom.
It's a good question.
Does it actually do it? Does it do it?
No, it's kind of ignoring you.
Okay. That'd be kind of cool if it actually could be commanded. A cleaning broom. I command you to clean this room. I command you to. It's like, just imagine all the housekeeping fees we would save.
Hmm.
The dream.
The
Especially
broom, the
for
broom is
capture.
just kind of going about its business, and I guess it just kind of like it just moves.
Right, but
here
it's not
now.
another way. Yeah, but okay, so it can't be. It's programmed. It's not like we can talk to it. Okay,
It's just kind of doing its thing.
okay,
It's a
very good.
Roomba.
It's kind of like
Listen, we
it's
could try
kind of
to
like
hop
a medieval, and Dungeons and Dragons version of a Roomba. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Roomba. I like that. The Roomba. That's
The
awesome.
Roomba.
All right. So, what do you see out that window there, Yaldrin?
All right, Yildren, you see this. The best way to describe it is almost like what you Northern Lights would look like, except it's like this purple, like a miasma. It's almost mesmerizing, and it's just this purple light and constant waving, similar to what you saw in that portal, by the way. Like this white lights, these purple lights, and just kind of like, wavy. Probably give you a headache after a while. And that's the
Like we're
light that's coming
floating
into this particular.
in a etherness, or is there like landmass,
No,
or is it just
nothingness. All you see is this purple wavy. It's like
Nothing.
psychedelic. It's like psychedelic.
Does it have depth? Does it have depth to it, or
You
is
have
it just like pressed
no-
up against the?
It's up against. You can't. It's like
Okay.
think of it as almost like it's just space, but the space is colored in with all this moving colors. You
yeah,
cannot
nothing that
tell
would give you hope.
distance. You cannot tell distance. You cannot tell. There's no land. There's nothing other than the lights. This purple miasma.
Well, I don't see any. Let me just say, I don't think there's no worth in going outside.
Fair.
Well, I don't think there's much anything else in this room.
With it, well, did you do detect magic on the weapons, on the staves and the daggers?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so your
I'll go
detect
ahead
magic
and-
kicks in, and yeah, the broom is what kind of magic would that be? What's the magic that would animate
Evocation?
an animate object?
Whatever that magic is. All right.
I think it would be a vocation.
I
'cause I know
never-
that's summoning, but also I think like mind
Maybe a
control
conjuration?
stuff.
I feel like that might be a conjuration. Conjuration is usually summoning things, but maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, but it's enchanting it.
Oh no, that's no. You might be right on that one. Enchanting. Oh yeah. There's always one better school of magic.
Yeah, enchantment. Yeah.
Enchantment sounds better.
I'm trying to. I couldn't remember if enchantment was actually a thing.
No, enchantment
I
is a
forgot
thing.
enchantment
was Harry Potter.
The problem is, it's funny. What kind of a wizard would I be? I can't memorize
It's
these
sad
schools of
when-
magic.
This is the first Magic character I've played, and I know apparently Magic better than you.
You probably do. It's like I'm never good at like memorizing the. I never actually sat down and really memorized like what the names of the magic were. I know some of them. I mean, so I certainly know what evocation is, and I know what conjuration is, and that
like
would have
none
been
of
if
the
you summoned.
weapons are.
But I think enchantment is the most appropriate one, as a matter of fact. So that's you see that this thing is an enchanted object.
Okay, and none of the weapons are, or I don't know, maybe the dummy are enchanted or magical.
No. Standard
Okay.
weapons. Standard staff, standard daggers.
Only the broom seems to be
Yeah.
magical.
I mean, you can kind of investigate over there, and or take a count of what you have there. You'll see that there's 4 daggers, 4 quarterstaffs. You actually have some darts, a whole bunch of them, and you got
There's
one of
just
the
regular
walls
old-
shows like a diagram of attack and parry positions for wielders of
training
staffs
room.
and daggers. So this is kind of like an
Okay.
exercise room.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
No, I don't think there's anything else of great interest here.
Okay.
Onwards.
Onwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, Frit, you're gonna head. You're leading the charge over here. You see
Yeah.
a door right ahead of you to the west. You see a door also directly to the north of you.
Let's try the door to the north.
Okay.
I
It's
got
also
caught in a
vaguely
wall.
disconcerting that Mateus didn't leave any doors open.
Well, I'm thinking.
Actually, the other way. You did notice some doors were kind of open a little bit, like
Okay.
not entirely
Okay.
closed. I just have them closed in the because I only have closed or opened. So
There,
rather than
okay,
being
I
able to
just-
peek right in, yeah.
No, wait, it
was-
seems like I'm caught in that
the house
wall.
doesn't. You don't get the impression of. You don't feel danger in this house, but you just don't know what's in it. But this certainly
Okay.
seems. I guess
There
it
we
seems
go.
interesting. All right. So Frit, are you just going to open this door?
Yeah,
Okay.
the door in the front, and
You open the door.
Oh, I don't like that.
What do you see?
I see red things that are usually enemies.
You see that?
I see 2 red things.
Oh god.
I see a capital B and I see a thing. Oh, they're disappearing now on me.
You're not supposed to see
Oh
that.
no.
Okay,
Good extension. All right.
fine.
All right. That wasn't.
well,
you were
we
not
got
supposed to
books.
see that, and it's not good that there's a bug in an extension, which I'm removing that extension. That's too bad. I actually paid for that. The concept is amazing, but in theory, but in practice,
Execution,
it's
not so much.
apparently
Impossible.
not, because it's kind of ruins things. All right. Anyway, disregard those anyway. They weren't supposed to be there.
It looks like a study room. I've got
It looks like a
3
study room.
chairs.
So what? Yeah. So I'll tell you what you see. So
Okay.
tall shelves filled with books are lining the walls of this room. There's 2 more shelves in the middle of the room, as you see. That's kind of like showing you in the picture. They're very tall, about 10 feet wide. There's an aisle between them. There are several stacks of books that are piled high throughout the room, and there are small reading desks with cozy-looking scarlet chairs in the corner.
In all of the corners, I can't see the one corner.
Well, you can't see. Actually, it looks like you can see maybe to the nearest left corner is. You can see that there's a chair there, and you cannot see the corner directly
Okay.
to the southeast corner, but you can see the northeast and the
no, that's
northwest.
fair.
There's also a door.
Yeah, I can see just the barest hint of the door.
Right. There's a door to the west.
Yeah. So do
Well,
we
I
want to poke
think-
into the books? I know Mateus wanted us to grab some.
Yeah, and also I think that if we suspect that he's not coming back for whatever reason, finding those books could maybe help us figure our own way out of here.
I'm now just concerned that I'm the one that's apparently going to figure out the Arcana, because nobody else has any background in it. All right, well, let's go in and poke around and see what we can find.
Okay. You head inside.
Do we all go in, or?
Yeah, we go in. I'll try to.
I'll start looking through that bookshelf
Okay.
that I'm on.
As soon as you go to that bookshelf,
Mm-hmm.
the bookshelf
that's what
starts
I
to
thought.
buckle, and the bookshelf starts to buckle, and
And
it
I
kind of
away from it as
and it
it's
kind of like
buckling.
falls on top. It like starts to tip over on top of you. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, give me a second to find. Okay. Yay! 18.
Okay, you manage to be to notice it, and you jump out of the way. I'm gonna have you kind of jump. Let's just say to about here. You just kind of skip out of the way. Coneth, you're gonna have to, you're kind of in the way also. So can you make a dexterity saving throw? The
Sure.
others, your plotted courses did not take you to in harm's way, but this one over here is the one that is buckling and falling over. Coneth, this time this thing falls right on top of you and crashes on top of you. You are
God, that'll be loud.
what's that?
That'll be loud.
Yeah.
Coneth with his metal plate armor.
You're
And
actually
playing. Now it's
you,
playing now.
you don't feel
I haven't yet-
hurt.
I haven't graduated that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
but
Okay.
you are knocked to the ground with this thing on top of you. I'm not going to take any points away from your hit points, but it is technically
Prone.
restraining you. You can make a strength check. Okay, you use all of your strength, and you actually kind of free yourself with it. You actually pull the thing, you push it out of the way, kind of almost like a bench press, and you kind of like move. Let's just say you move down here, and you push the thing out of the way. So you are not restrained.
Okay.
Okay. The bookshelf is on the floor, books all over the place, but you're starting to notice that the books themselves are starting to swirl around. And you kind of see something that looks like this.
A book elemental.
That was my thought too.
Not far off.
Oh no! It'll teach us.
That's right.
Oh no! Oh no!
Don't teach
Okay.
me anything.
What I'd like you to do right
I
now
hope
is
nobody has a match.
what I'd like you to do right now is roll initiative. You now
I
have a
suppose I can
swarm
do
of books to
that.
contend with, and the swarm of books are not all that happy with you at the moment.
Woo!
Dote. Oh, I'm sorry. You're still outside, right? Okay. I thought that was your. That's my pointer. Whoops. Pointer. Let's remove this pointer.
Let's see.
Okay.
Where's the broom when you need one?
What a mess. I bet
Exactly.
the broom and this book elemental are mortal enemies because the book cleans everything up, and then the book makes a mess again.
I'm not a big fan of destroying books, so I don't know if I want to fight this. Maybe I just want to retreat out of this room altogether.
Okay. Yildrin, I'm going to have you start the round. Whoops. Round one.
I'm guessing it looks hostile.
Yes.
It's
Let's
It's like
read
they're
them all.
starting to swarm around, almost like a whirlwind of books. And they are. It looks to you like they're heading towards Frit. Frit was the I guess the offender that actually walked in front of it. The books.
I mean, yeah, this is why I don't like classrooms. I'm
Structured
going.
learning.
Yeah, you learn in the real world, kids. I'm gonna move up, and hopefully that I'll be flanking with Frit if I move there,
Yep.
You capture
and
the book?
I'll.
Hit the advantage button on the bottom left of the screen, and then roll your attack. You can just drag it right on top of the token.
Well, I'm also thinking if we defeat it or deal enough damage, we can check out the books later. But I'm not gonna. So I'm just.
We're not at the library. We can't check out the books.
Gonna hit it with my rapier.
There's a metaphor in here somewhere.
Hey.
Trying to
Ooh.
I think that's a hit.
All right. You slash your rapier at it, and you hit it. You actually knock a book or two away from the swarm.
It's not a great damage roll, but
no, that's not bad. It's your damage has begun. So a couple of books were slashed and hacked through and knocked out of the swarm.
Okay.
Dote, your turn.
There. Can't actually see.
Can you see?
It's like
Can you
once you
confirm
get
that?
into the
Yep.
room, it's like the center of the room.
Okay, you're moving right to the doorway, and you can see right now Yildrin and Frit are on opposite sides of the swarm of books. It looks almost like a tornado of books swarming around.
Guess I'll take a shot at it.
Okay, you use your longbow, and you shoot the bow, hits. And the arrow pierces right through one of the books. I don't know why it's doing this again, but... Oh, because I have to fix this up. All right, book is taking quite a bit of damage here.
Sneak attack applies, so if you could add an extra 5 damage.
Is it an additional 5 sneak attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is their allies close to...
All right. You can tell that the books are pretty damaged. All right, if you're done with your turn, end the turn, and it'll be Frit's turn. Is there anything more to do, Toad?
No.
Okay.
No.
Frit, your turn.
So, the unfortunate thing is I'm leaning towards my wildfire druid.
Mhm.
So, books are probably not the best choice. I'm casting.
Let me take a look.
Produce
There might be some
Flame.
vulnerabilities. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm casting Produce Flame.
Ooh.
And,
Okay, produce flame.
Why did that say that I should have gotten the advantage?
It
I
did.
had a
It
19
dropped. It
and a-
actually dropped a 3.
Yeah, but it's saying that I missed. When I got a 19, I rolled a 19 plus 5. It didn't drop it, it used
No,
it.
you're right. It dropped the first 3, and it used a 19. What was the?
But it's showing up as 8.
That's odd.
interesting.
No, that should be a hit. All right, just roll damage. I can't see why that
Okay.
would be. Yeah, roll the damage. As it turns out, it is vulnerable to your damage. Your 7 turned into a 14 points of damage. So the swarm of books starts to goes up in flames, and no sooner does it go up in flames, they just disappear, and the flames disappear also. Okay, you are now
Are the
out
books all
of.
gone?
What's that?
Are the books all gone?
They're scorched, and they turn into dust.
Oh, I guess we
Yeah.
can't read them.
Hopefully,
Okay, they
I
were
would
probably
assume
filled
that
with
there'd be
evilness.
some- I'm assuming that like any of the actual important ebooks would have some shade of magical protection against fire.
Also, you wouldn't want to just throw books at like if you have a book collection, your first plan
Yeah, let's
isn't,
not
hey, let
throw
me
them.
throw these books at intruders.
Well,
I mean,
Unless
I know.
unless it's designed to keep the books from falling into the wrong hands. But
Mhm.
all right, let's. I start looking around, to see if there are any other Mordekainen type books.
I'll look on the far wall here, see if there's
Or-
anything
yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
I'm going to
it
check
a novel?
instead of the bookshelves. I'm going to check like the desks that have the chairs and stuff. I don't know if there's like things on the desks or like if the desk has drawers, maybe.
Okay.
Connor's looking for books about worlds that have lawyers and
All right. So, Kenneth, show me where you're located.
I'm gonna go over here and look through this bookshelf, I guess. The
Okay.
bookshelves over here.
Yeah, lots of books in there. Very many books. The books that you're actually noticing, Conniff, things that you probably would normally be very bored of, not something of interest to you. There's nothing related to, any kind of like fighting or the melee, any tactics or anything like that. But what you do see are just a number of books that. Where are we here? This is.
Oh, I forgot I had. It's okay.
Yeah, you see things that related to the arcane, natural sciences. You might see things about religion, astrology. Actually, is of note. You start to notice there's a whole bunch of books about astrology.
I'm looking at that chair longingly now, thinking about taking a little nap.
While we're doing this, I realize that Conniff is slightly hurt, so I'm going to give him half of the good berries that I have.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. What does that give? What does it bring me up to? I'm down 4. I'm down 5. Oh, thank you.
You're down 7, so you're just down to 2, or down 2.
So I should go to 12. Oh no, I'm sorry, 10. 10 hit points. I'm sorry. My max is 13.
11.
So I should get to 11. Okay.
So I'm gonna flip through that book you told me about.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Oh.
So
I'll pick it up, and if I can open it, I kind of want to flip through it and see if I find the same shorthand.
okay,
That
I'm
Conniff had
going to
found.
say that Frit, you kind of were eyeing the same book on the floor. That's what I was. I don't know if you saw the chat, but I kind of indicated.
I just noticed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yildren goes to pick up a book. Who's in sight of Yildren? Dote, I think, would probably notice this. You notice that Yildren went over to pick up a book. Yildren, you see this book, and you notice that the front page, the cover, has Mordekainen in it, on it. You also notice, as you turn over on the spine of the book, you see a letter R. That's of note, because the other books don't seem to have anything like that.
Interesting.
You flip
really
through
hope
it,
there's not
and
basic,
you see most of it is just handwritten notes related to just arcana. The arcane.
Okay. So nothing really. Does the book have the title? Is it the same book as the one?
No, it does. It's not. It does not have a title.
Okay.
In fact, the book isn't like a printed book. It's like just a bunch of handwritten notes, scribbles, things that you can't.
More like
really...
a journal.
It looks like just jotting notes that were jotted. But hard for you to tell exactly what it's really saying. I mean, it's you can roll an Arcana check.
Conniff,
Yes.
you would subtract from the wounded. You now have 2 hit points.
What?
Yeah, the way it's set up is that's the amount that you're wounded by.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
it. Okay.
Yeah,
me too.
that's counterintuitive.
You're forgetting how fantasy ground works. Yeah, that's your wound amount. So you have your total hit points over there.
Well, doesn't tell you how.
So your wound amount would be 2.
It's counting up to your max
Right.
HP.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll go with a Frit and show them the book, and be like, "Well, I get the feeling we're gonna have to do some spelling."
Spelling. I would. If you guys don't mind,
All I
think
hope for is
here.
that we don't have to find 26 of them.
I will let Conniff and Dote know that like this book has an R. If you find another one like it, it's probably important.
I wonder if this is an anagram.
It could be the same as
God.
the command word.
The command word to get out, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like that we find books, and they have a code on them, and it becomes like an anagram, and it.
I'm gonna make sure to note where we found the book. I don't know if that's gonna.
Good idea. Good idea. This is like.
Yeah, I've got it down in
library or lounge?
I'm updating the investigator logs and stuff. I've been keeping track of it.
Excellent.
Frit, you also notice over in that desk in the corner there, you see what looks
northwest
like
one?
a... I'm sorry?
The northwest one? Like the one I'm right beside?
The one you're right beside. Correct.
Yeah.
There looks to be a letter opener that has a jewel on it. Looks kind of nice.
No?
Is it magical?
Hey, well, if we're gonna be in this space, we might as well take some things that look valuable. Isn't that right, Dote?
I don't see how you jump to that.
Make it worth our while.
Legitimate salvage.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
is a
if we're gonna be
jeweled
taking
letter
books, we
opener.
might as well take
Do you really want to steal from a person who can create a dimensional space?
Yeah, ask for it back. We'll give it back.
You make a valid point.
Well, I am worried if like whatever happened to this guy was because he took stuff out of here. But like, I don't know. We really have no.
Yeah, because he had a statue in his
Doesn't
hand,
belong
didn't
to us.
he?
We're not here to. My attitude is we're not here to rob them.
Did I? So I'm. What?
But
Actually,
if you pocket it, I won't know about it. I'm not looking for
Frit,
it.
why don't you at least check? Like, it's a nice letter. So I'm guessing the letter opener is like just kind of nicer relatively to everything else in this.
Well,
I'm gonna-
I mean, in general, the decor is fairly nice in this house in general. It's not. This is by no means a hut. This feels to you more like it's a mansion.
Frit, why don't you check that? Check the letter opener. See if it's engraved with the name of whoever.
That's a good idea.
Something that fancy, you know. People definitely get that stuff engraved.
Do you want me to roll?
I mean, is the letter opener magical?
Oh yeah, you'd still. Have you detected magic again in this room?
I
There,
could detect that.
Now that we've cleared up the
your
book
your
elemental.
detect magic is probably. Let's just say that. Well, how long does it last?
10
10
minutes,
minutes, right? Yeah. I don't think it's been. Let's just say you're on the tail end of 10 minutes. But you don't notice anything coming out of that. This simply looks like something of value to you.
Okay. I think we're gonna note it down and think about whether or not it's worth taking at a later date.
Yes, I agree. Let's determine how cursed this pocket dimension library is before we start unscrewing and unnailing everything.
Because I mean, if need be, we can take the wall sconces, or are they chandelier coming from the ceiling ones?
These are just like lamps in the ceiling. That's just they're lit. I mean, oil
I
lamps.
feel Frit is a druid who's been tempted by the world of by the world of cities and what other races have created.
I know quality, and I know craftsmanship because I'm an artisan. So,
That's fair.
and I know how much things would be worth theoretically.
I mean, I'm okay taking stuff at least for payment for all this like all this pain in the ass we're going through. But I think my concern is the same as Cunning's, where it's like I don't know how safe it is.
Yeah.
To just take stuff.
He had a statue in hand when he left, didn't he?
I think he had a statue, which he was like very happy about, and like a book.
Yeah. If you'd like, roll. You all saw the statue. Roll a religion check.
Oh, I still have advantage. Sorry about that.
The second was an 8. The
re-roll
first one was
out.
a 15, so you got a 17 on that.
As a cleric, could I have advantage on that religion?
No.
Damn it.
This is a reason
I
to
already
have
accidentally
advantage
had
on it.
advantage.
It's because you're a cleric.
I have a 17.
You should be proficient in
Did I
that, I think, right?
recognize?
I just never pick it because religion's an intelligence based. I think that's my one gripe about it. Like religion, even if it doesn't make sense, should have been a wisdom.
Should have been
based
wisdom.
class.
Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good argument.
Or like,
Frit,
can choose depending
you
on-
recognize the creature This statue
Oh.
was a black statue, like maybe onyx or something. You know, it could have been like an onyx statue.
Mm-hmm.
What you recognized on it was it was either crap. It was so lifelike, other than the fact that it was just a straight black statue. It just seemed so detailed to you, and it was unmistakable as to what that was. It was an imp. You know a little bit about it, from your whatever religious teachings you've had in the past. You could tell by its pointy tail. You could tell by its kind of like this hooked nose and its horns, and it was clearly an imp. And the only thing that struck you was the detail. It was very, very detailed. It was like almost lifelike.
It was broken? What's the story with
it
it?
was just a statue. He was just holding a statue of it. You noticed also, and he mentioned something as he was leaving. He's like, "I can't wait to examine this. He found this he found it here in the mansion
Somewhere here. Yeah. Okay. All right. And did we notice anything about the book that he was carrying? Did we get a glimpse at it at all?
The book that who was carrying?
Matreus. Was he carrying a book?
No. He was carrying the
statue.
The statue. I guess the indication, and he was trying to convey the message that he was startled that you were there. He wasn't prepared for the door to be opening and to close so quickly. He wanted to get the books. He asked you to run in and look for the books that had a similar cover as to the one outside. He did not know to get it, but he figured he had more time. He went out there to keep the door open, but somehow it seems to have failed.
I have just a side note question about magic in general in this world. Does the spell end when the caster dies? Is that the case, or is that just does it continue
Depends
on?
if it's a concentration spell.
Power?
I mean, there could be spells that just have a lingering effects if it's not a concentration, but if it is a concentration, it would stop.
Okay.
If you check in the party sheet under the inventory, I put the jeweled letter opener in there. It's just a straight jeweled letter opener. That's all it is. It has you think it has some value to it, Cool. Anybody have any kind of a background, or in their background would anything that would help in determining value?
Only we had a jewel cutter. If only if we had a jewel cutter in our group.
In your discussion, you found out, let's just say you had some nice discussions with Mazar. Yeah, you kind of wish he was around, right? It's nice to have a Mazar around.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't have a pocket Mazar.
I mean,
that's right.
Pocket Mazar.
That's a spell that you should develop. My background is in an artisan, but it's not in gems or anything. But I imagine.
Well, something as an artisan, you might know a thing or two about. An estimate. Your ballpark is it's around 20 gold pieces. This thing is worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So it's in the party sheet. Who wants to? Will you be taking that?
I mean, I suppose we can drop all the stuff off before we go through if we feel that we need to.
Okay. I have you down as it's going to be assigned to you. So once I distribute it, it will be distributed to you. I don't know whether you want to split the silver pieces that are in there already, but we can do that later on. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, you see just a bunch of books. Like I mentioned before, the books that you've come up with are all roughly the same. Arcana books, science books, natural science books. You see religion books. You see quite a number of astrology books.
Astrology.
Planar travel, actually, is another one about planar travel. You also see some books on poetry, mythology, and a few folk tales.
Just like a general purpose sort of thing?
Yeah. Nothing.
Is it organized in any way, or is it just?
No, you skim through them. A couple books on astronomy too. Whoever is collecting these books. I mean, at this point, you think it might be this. This must have been the thing that Festandia used to come to.
Mm-hmm.
In your conversation, I think in your conversations you've uncovered that Matreus was interested in this in the same room that Festandia went to, because Festandia would leave for quite a while. I think one of you uncovered that Festandia would come in and she would be gone for days at a time. Well, it's clear to you that this is probably where she went.
Well,
So my
there's
theory
another door there if you wanna.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say my theory is that like this probably isn't the main library. This is just a study room, and anything I'm like currently studying, I'll keep in this room for ease of access.
That's
If that
true,
makes
but I
sense.
wonder how Candlekeep. Like, if this is Vistania's, like, I would assume this might be hers. How would Candlekeep feel about that? Because they have a very strict policy, and like I don't know. I doubt she would have stolen any books, but I feel like it'd be all too easy to like take the book from your room here.
Oh, she could have made copies of these books as well. I mean, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Some of them were written by her. Actually, she was a very powerful mage. She was very interested in a lot of these subjects. The book that you have is all written in notes. Or I'm sorry, did you take that book or?
Yes.
All right. If you wouldn't mind, because I actually don't have a parcel for it, but or do I? Let me see if I do. Oh, I do. I'm going to throw that into the party sheet too.
Cool.
I'm going to assign that to you, Yildren. You have the Gilded Book R. With the R on the
Okay.
Awesome.
on the binder. The binder.
Where do we want to go next?
Do we want to
would
go
assume
through
that-
the door on the west of Coneth? God, my brain.
Yes.
I would assume
There's a
yes.
door to your west. Yes.
There's a door right next to me.
There's a
Yes.
door right next to you to your west. You're
To your west.
right on that door.
All right, so I'll open it.
You open it. You open it. It looks like you peek out, and this is a patio.
Miranda?
And surrounding you, of course, you're on the outside now. Surrounding you is this swirling indigo miasma. That's just, from wherever you look, it's surrounding this mansion.
Making me nauseous. I go back in.
It's making you nauseous. It probably is making you nauseous, actually.
Yeah, I don't like what I see out there. It's probably disorienting. There's no up. There's no down. There's no horizon. It's probably very disconcerting.
Confusing. Yeah.
So,
That's fine.
one thing
The
I'm
outside can stay
going to
outside.
ask of the group here is that when I have your tokens locked, when you are plotting your course, my preference would be for you to actually plot your course, and go around objects rather than through it. I mean, sometimes if it's just a matter of saving time, I don't mind, but I'd like to know where you're walking. Yeah, what your course is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I saw the outside. I'm not interested.
Okay, Frit, you have chosen to give yourself a headache by walking out. It's basically this. There's nothingness. It's almost like you're just. It's almost you feel almost the sense of instability, like you have no idea. You don't even know that you're on the ground. It doesn't feel like you're even on the ground. This mansion is floating in this. Whatever it's hard to even describe it. The feeling that you're getting is almost disorienting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just coming through to make sure that other door.
Okay, so
that was my
I'm going
question,
to
if the
move you out.
Yeah.
Door.
Frit, you're going to go
goes to
through
the
that door. Takes you right back into the hallway. You have
Mm-hmm.
to open it here. Damn, is it open? Now it's open. So yeah.
Yeah, now it's open.
Okay, now you can go.
Yeah, it stopped me.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, No, thank you. Don't want to go outside. Let's keep the party rolling.
Onwards. Let's see what's
As long
going
as
on.
it's not outside, I'm happy.
Let's see what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Elf patrol.
Okay, so you are back to the foyer. Dote, what would you like to do? You're heading out? Okay. Connus?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back into the corridor.
Okay. You're back into the corridor. Ahead of you, you see the rest of your party. Okay, now you're catching up. You were already in the room to the north of you, Connus. There is... there's a door pretty much opposite where you came in, where Yildren is, right to your north, Yildren.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So you
a
just
little
open
bit
the door.
further down, there's stairway, and a little bit further down, although you see that the door is closed. It shows closed on the map. It's actually
Slightly open.
it's
you
actually
said?
slightly open. Yeah.
Hmm.
And further down the hallway, how far do you see? Let's see. Yeah, further down the hallway,
I count another 2 doors.
you kind of you can see it. Okay, there's a door to the north, and then there's one all the way at the end to the east.
Hmm.
Okay. Where would you like to go next?
I think I'll open the door in front of me before we keep going.
Okay. Actually, this door I believe is also slightly open, so it's not open all the way, but you could peek in if you'd like.
I'll do that.
All right, so I'll just open it. Okay. So is it open?
Yes.
All right. So the entire far wall of this room is a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf. And there are even more books. You could tell that Fistandia was a bookworm. There are even, and Matreus, of course, would love this, but not that you know much about him. But even more books are resting on several large scarlet armchairs and small wooden tables. And there are several paintings on the walls. You also notice there's kind of a fluffy black cat curled up on one of the chairs.
There's a cat in here.
Yep.
I'll go pet the cat.
Okay.
I'm
why don't you
following
go
Pet the
ahead?
Cat.
Go ahead into the room, and let's just say, let me see what the room looks like here. Did I just hit the wrong button? Sorry, Ildren. Did you?
Well, we're gonna have to take turns petting the cat. Is all I'm saying.
I'm gonna move you out of the way so I can just. Ildren, you went into the room,
Yeah,
right?
that's okay.
Okay. Let me put you back in here. Okay. Okay. So, let's just say it's this chair over here. That's where the cat is. So the
Okay.
cat, as you enter the room, the cat sits up and begins to meow, and it kind of comes over to you, Yildren, and it starts to do kind of like it's rubbing up against you a little bit. Now, did you say you wanted to pet it?
I'll pick the cat up.
Why don't you go ahead and roll an animal handling check? Something that you guys probably don't get to roll too often.
Here we go. Wait, that's the wrong thing. That's the right one. Come on, don't fail me now. That's not bad.
Okay, so you pick up the cat and you pet it. I'm assuming you're kind of holding the cat. You kind of give him a little bit, or he or she. What would you like the cat to be? A female or male? Doesn't matter. Just for role playing purposes.
Boy, fine.
All right.
Boy, yeah.
He just kind of nuzzles up against you. He seems to have taken a liking to you, and you are seem to have a friend.
Ah,
Aw.
Yeah.
Frit, you're your druid.
Sweet.
Want to question the cat? Actually, yeah. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna go ahead and sit down. I'm gonna get
Oh, can
comfy.
you speak to animals?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I just assume most druids can speak to animals. I don't know.
I
You're the
Do
druid.
you have animal
I do
speaking?
not currently have the spell speak to animals.
You would need the
Ah.
spell, yeah, of course. But you
Yeah.
could you could still befriend an animal if you roll a good animal handling.
yeah,
It seems
definitely.
Yildren has done that.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
the
then
cat
I'll
is
roll
my
animal
friend,
handling too.
but you're allowed to talk to the cat. Just
Yildren's feeling a little bit
Nat
territorial
20.
about the cat. Ooh, I hate to say it,
I
Yildren,
will
but Frit
fight
did a little
you.
bit better than you.
I
The
will
cat now
fight
is
you
showing
for
interest
cat.
to Frit. So the cat kind of like starts to squirm a little bit on you. You know, Yildren wants to get off.
You're
So
just-
are you letting the cat go?
Sure.
Okay, the cat
'Cause
jumps
I'm
down
not
and starts
a
to
jealous
rub.
monster,
Oh.
unlike some people.
The
All
cat
right.
starts
Well,
to.
I'm gonna hold the cat. I'm gonna pick the cat up, hold the cat, and then go look at the bookcase.
Okay. So
be
you're
right
going to go look at the bookcase. The cat's following you around the room. Actually, Yildren, the cat likes you too. So it's kind of like purring and happy, generally happy that you're there.
I wanna. If we're just gonna check out the bookshelves, I guess I'll closely inspect the paintings.
Okay.
Like if there's anything behind them or any because my logic is we found the gilded letter on the book, and it's like I wonder if the paintings have some hints of like this place or some like hidden message or some like I
Contact.
don't know, some scribbling.
Why don't you roll me a blanket investigation? And we're not going to necessarily We're going to say that you're going to spend some time in this room here, and you're going to be investigating. So go ahead. Whoever's in the room, go ahead and roll a blanket investigation. Just one investigation check, and that will count for the next, let's say, 30 minutes. As there's a number of things that you can look at here. Oh.
I'm distracted by the cat.
Brain twins activate.
Wait a second here.
We're
So
both distracted by the cat.
yeah. Oh, that's too unfortunate.
Such a
All
cute
right.
cat.
Anybody else want to come
Got
into the room? You're just looking around, and maybe you're a little bored. I don't know. Maybe you spend some time. All right, Connor, come on in.
Oh, hold on. I got
Welcome. Cat looks at you, Connor, and with curiosity, did you want to go back out or?
Well, no, actually, I did not. I went through the wall and then I realized you wanted me to.
Okay. Dote. Dote is.
Am I doing an investigation? Am I doing investigations?
Yeah, you can roll an investigation because the idea is this room seems a little bit interesting. There's a lot of stuff in here. More books, of course.
There you go.
Connor, you're noticing you're helping Yildren and Frit with their investigation, and you're spending some time. Dote, what are you doing here as well?
I'm an inquisitive guy.
Dote, are you going to also go into the room and investigate? Are you gonna...
I mean, sure.
You don't have to. I mean, you can do whatever. You could.
I'll stay
I'm gonna be super.
in the door.
If this cat becomes like a cat elemental and we have to fight it, I'm gonna be so bummed. Like, it's gonna be so
It should
sad.
be on
So,
our
Dote,
side.
you're just
immediately, if that's
noticing-
the case.
You're noticing Frit, Yildren, and Conneth are kind of like walking around the room, just kind of like looking around. You're
Does
looking
the
at
cat have a
pulling books out, and
We have not named the cat.
Well, does it have like a collar or something?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, we
To
wouldn't
be
know.
fair, we're
Actually,
distracted.
yeah,
We
Conneth,
were
the
very
cat
bored.
the cat has. I mean, I don't know if they did that back in the D&D days, but or the in the world of Faerun, but let's just say, yeah, it seems that generally the collar would mean that the cat belongs to somebody or is a pet of somebody. So let's just say yes, this cat clearly has a little, collar. Nothing fancy. It's not a jeweled collar or anything like that. It's just a fabric, but with maybe some nice little decoration on it to indicate that whoever did put the collar onto the cat, did spend a little bit of time, a little bit of effort making it kind of a nice collar. This
Aw.
cat is a pet. Okay. So you're spending roughly 30 minutes. Dote, you're looking in and you just see everybody just, the other party members are just kind of like examining and finding things interesting, actually. What you're picking up now is that most of these books that you are perusing through are written by Fistandia. Most of them are her memoirs. You also pick up or get the idea here that she was a very powerful mage, stuff that you've already heard about. But what you didn't what you didn't know was that she was also seems to have been a priest of Mistra. And she came to Candlekeep very often. This was almost like a second home to her.
What do we know of Mistra? Is she something about the goddess of magic?
So,
The elven god of magic.
what's that?
The elven god of magic.
Okay. So, are you speaking out loud? Coneth, you don't know of any who
I would know that.
You would know that? You're a rogue. How would you know
It
that?
doesn't matter because I'm an elf and I'm from Evermore.
All right, so that's fine.
Evermore is a continent that elves made with a spell, and only like elves can go there.
That's
basically.
fine. I don't really have a problem with that. I know under normal circumstances, I would probably have somebody roll an Arcana check or something like that, or maybe
Religion.
learn history or religion. Well, yeah. Religion. I'll probably give you both the option, since those who've learned magic in the past would probably have learned something of these deities.
I'll roll a religion just because I want to know if I would know anything as a half elf. God damn it!
I mean,
Well, but these are memoirs. You're actually reading memoirs, so you're gaining information from it anyway. So it almost doesn't matter. So yeah, you figure out that Mistra is exactly what Dote said. You also figure out in the memoirs that she, in exchange for her pious service and achievements in expanding the arts of magic, Mistra actually granted Fistandia a permanent extra-dimensional mansion for her to reside in when studying in Candlekeep. So that's now you figured out that's what this place is. This place was not just a pillar of pedagogy room. She actually spent lots of time here with her studies.
How long ago? Do we know how? We know it's not that long. I mean, if some of the workers there knew Fistandia, it couldn't have been that long ago.
Probably years.
They all long lived.
It could have been what Little One told you this. Did somebody was it Little One that told you that Fistandia was he knew if Fistandia would come in frequently, maybe a couple of years ago?
Yeah, but this is the same. This is the same room. In other words, we were told that what's his name? Matthias. Yeah. Used the same room that Fistandia used.
Yeah, so he was very interested in Fistandia's works.
Is it TH or F? Is it Fistandia or Fistandia?
F with a Frank. F like Frank. Fistandia. Fist, like a fist.
No.
Rule with an iron Fistandia.
Okay, so she was not like somebody that was there like thousands of years ago. She was
no. Mordenkainen might have been. Mordenkainen might have been, but
we don't know if Fistandia is human. I'm wondering if because I originally just assumed Fistandia was human, but now I'm wondering if Fistandia is an elf.
Yeah, speaking, she has to be of elven heritage.
So she was a cleric.
She might still be alive.
No, she was a mage.
She was a mage, but okay, but all right.
Well, and this cat seems pretty well fed, so.
Yeah, she might be here.
Well, I mean, she could have dual classed, you know.
Could be a familiar.
Could be a familiar.
You also,
I mean, chances are people don't maybe suffer from physical ailments like hunger.
That's true. This guy, I keep forgetting his name.
He's been here for a while.
He's been here Matreus has been here for 2 weeks or so,
At
we
least,
think.
yeah.
He didn't seem... The first thing he asked for was not a drink and a bite. But I also wonder if time is affected differently in this pocket dimension. Like, we never got a chance to ask him how long it's been for him. Because, like, only a few doors... Like, we saw some rooms that hadn't been open.
I mean, how would he tell? He doesn't have access to sunlight.
That's true, but I feel in 2 weeks you'd have a chance to check out this. I mean, I don't know. We don't know how big this place is, but the fact that there are doors that are closed.
If you don't suffer, like hunger, or if you don't need to sleep, you don't really have a natural life cycle. Like
there's no rhythm. Yeah,
that's fair.
After a while,
we could ask him, but
okay.
I mean, he screamed last time we heard from him, so...
We'd get more answers from the cat.
I mean, we might want to try talking to the cat if it's a familiar.
What I'd like everybody also to do while they're in the room is to roll a perception check. See what else you might find.
Treats for the cat.
So that was my
18 at 19. Oh, 19.
so my score only helped find that book, the journal or whatever, the memoirs, whatever it was.
So, I guess, sorry to interrupt, my question is, if we found about, like, that Fasania was gifted this mansion,
Oh, mine didn't go through.
would we find, like, a way out? Like, would it have that kind of information of, like, how she left? Maybe it's dumb that she would have written it, I suppose.
I'm going to... Okay, so Dote, you're still on the outside, but you're kind of peeking in. I'm going to say that you and Coneth no, actually, Dote.
I can teeter.
Yeah, Dote, you peek. All right, you come in. All right, you peek your head in. The first thing you notice when you're scanning the room is that the chair, the armchair, right to your left, has a book, and it looks to you like it's got one of those busts of Mordecai in it. Frit, where you're standing, right next to that bookshelf, you notice something strange about one of the books. Seems kind of like rigid as you're kind of it's almost like it doesn't come out so easily.
Oh, I want to yank on it then.
You yank on it. You pull it out, and all of a sudden a click is heard. You kind of hear...
I realized that this could be a trap just 5 seconds after I said that, but...
I mean, it's fine.
When you hear the sound, the bookshelf actually opens up a little bit. You know, kind of like slides back and then like to the side, opening up a door right behind it.
Ooh. Yeah, I see a stairwell.
Interesting.
Is it going up or down?
This stairwell is going down.
Interesting.
Whenever you have a secret door, the stairwell always goes down.
That's true.
So you're going to head into it?
I'm going to poke my head in further
All
to
right.
see if there's anything concerning about it right off the bat, but...
It heads down. It's kind of like... what I'm going to say is... well, I mean, you'll probably have dark vision. You're an elf, right? So you look down, and you see that at the bottom of the stairs, it looks like it hooks to the right, meaning it hooks to the south. But ahead of that, is a... bear with me 1 second. Ahead of that is a doorway. You see, kind of like a, what looks like a landing. You know, the stairs head down to a landing. It hooks to the right, which is the south, and then but also ahead of you is a door down below.
So do we want to finish off looking at the rest of this floor and then go down, or go up, or?
I'm kind of with you. I'm sorry.
I would want to finish this floor.
Yeah,
I'd like to
that's
finish
my
the club, but I
thought
think
too.
going down. But I do think going down is preferable. I like the idea of going down before we go up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is Doe gonna
So I
pick
make-
up the book or point it out to one of us? I'm asking kind of.
Yeah, technically, nobody else noticed it. Dote, you're the one that noticed it. I should have probably just done it in chat to give us more of an effect. But
I mean, yeah, I'll point out the book.
okay.
I'll go
When
and
Dote points
pick it
out
up
the book,
then.
everybody turns to look. Sure enough, it is another book that everybody sees that has Mordekainen's image on it.
Have a letter on it.
And yes, when you look at the book, the letter this time
Playing Jeopardy.
is...
I was gonna say clue, like did it in the study,
This one has a
Using-
letter I.
secret,
Right.
the secret passage,
Well,
So we have R and I.
using
I'm
the
going to
staircase.
add that
So it
to...
would be Pepper.
I'm going to add
I'm
that
wondering
book
if
also
Mordekainen.
to
that
the...
remove scepter from the list.
Who's gonna?
Yeah.
Is anybody in particular going to manage the books? Am I gonna assign them to anybody in particular? I had Yildren on the book R. Anybody? It doesn't really matter. I'm putting in the party sheet anyway. So.
I mean, if I'm the one that's got the most arcane knowledge, or just knowledge in general, I feel that like vaguely that probably should be on me.
I mean, I don't mind, but I also think that is your I think you just want to take things.
No.
Is that your flaw?
No.
What's that thing where like feeling
Kleptomania? Nah. To be fair, we haven't taken everything that's not bolted down. I feel we've been very.
And you guys are casting Navarra aspersions on Flit here.
Maybe a little.
But,
I'll give you the book.
yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
When you peruse the
I will
book,
say-
it is also a handwritten notes. Lots of notes. But I would need an Arcana check if anybody wants to try to figure out anything. If you can make heads or tails of any of the
One
stuff.
second, I'm just finishing off my notes.
Okay. I feel also when we have them all, maybe the notes will make sense or be more cohesive.
Yeah.
Who
I don't know.
knows?
You're getting the impression that
I'm gonna
these
roll
are the books
Arcana either
in
way.
particular that
Oof. 18.
okay. You're
Might actually-
you're you know something, but your history is you know something of magic, of course, because you are a druid. Not necessarily magic of the weave of magic of the arcane so much, right? But you've learned some things here and there. You're picking up little tidbits of information on what's in there. There are various, actually, things that Matreus would have been very interested in. Lots of little pieces of information about curses and solutions. There's information about just lots of notes, standard Arcana stuff that you can't really understand, stuff about religion, more stuff about interdimensional travel. But other stuff, a lot of other things in there that are just too hard to understand the shorthand that was used. Similar shorthand that was used when you showed, let's say you're showing into the party, Coneth, you recognize that the shorthand is very close, or reminds you of what you saw in that book outside that you brought to Bazaar.
Right, but we don't know who. We don't know if that's Fistandia. That could be Fistandia's notes, but I've no.
Well, yeah, a lot of the stuff here was written more in a typeset or calligrapher, or maybe a bit more of a calligraphy. This is just written down shorthand.
Yeah.
Okay. No way to decipher it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it in my pack and continue on.
Okay.
All right, but we have 2 letters now. Still thinking
Yeah.
it might be some kind of anagram or. Okay.
Yes. A letter puzzle.
Okay. During the remaining minutes of your time there, you've noticed other things. There are paintings on the walls. You see, for example, one of the paintings is a landscape scene with a large green dragon emerging from a grove of pine trees.
I stand up.
You see a picture with Pegasus in flight. You see a portrait of a unicorn in a wooden glade. A wooded glade.
Are they particularly lifelike?
No, it's art. It looks like art. Paintings.
Are they familiar scenes, like of battles or anything like that?
Nothing of note. Nothing that.
Okay.
That's just the decor, I guess.
Cool.
Okay. You're heading outside? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You also notice that this door is ajar as well.
Cool. I'll open it and peek through.
Okay.
Sorry, am I standing in front of it or next? I meant for you to be.
You're beside it.
Oh, okay.
I'm in front of it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Coneth runs up there to. You head back a little bit. Okay, Coneth.
Oh,
just so you know, to the north, right to the north of you are stairs that are heading upwards, going up.
Yep.
Okay. Dote following along. Frit, you look in. But before you look in, you notice that it smells really good over here. And by the way, how are we on time? It's a Saturday night. I don't know if are you guys okay, or do you want to?
I'm good. I'm 2 hours.
I'm good.
Do you want to go like
it's
an,
not even
like another
midnight.
15 minutes, or or are we? Should we leave it where we are? 'Cause I don't want to lose anybody. It's because I know it is getting a little late.
I mean, it's mostly on it.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
but I hate the idea of being. I mean, I'm tired, but I hate the idea
All right.
of.
You don't have to be.
everybody else.
You won't be the one. Why don't we go another 15 minutes and then we'll call it. Why don't we
That's fine.
do this room, and then we'll call. Is that cool?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So what you do notice is that the cat, right in front of you, does scurry. Kind of goes into the room right before you, Frit. And then you open the room. You look through. You start to smell the aroma of cooking. There's a large. I'll have you go right through then. Just get a better view. Okay, so there's like a large iron stove that takes up a wall, and the rest of the room is filled with large tables and racks that are lined with hanging pots, pans, and cooking utensils, and everything is sparkling clean. So as you walk into the room, you hear kind of like a flapping with wings, like kind of like flapping. And then two small forms land on the table right near you. And they they look like little, kind of like people, little humanoids. Okay, they're very small.
Okay.
They just kind of like land over there, and they bow very low before you.
Okay.
Oh, let me give you a voice for that one. Hang on.
How can we be of help to our honored guests? Cooking? Cleaning? Mending your clothes, perhaps?
I think we're good right this second. Let me poke my head out the door and see if anybody wants anything to eat. I'll poke my head out the door and be like,
We're not hungry at the
so I found
moment.
the kitchen. I'm hungry.
So
I mean, the cat's probably hungry.
these are roll a nature check. I would do another. The problem is that you're in a land of mage, so I think you could also probably do an Arcana check since you've been doing good with that.
I mean, I actually have proficiency in nature, so I'm going to do nature. But
Yeah, nature's probably not the best one, but I'll let it go because I said it. Yeah, go ahead.
20.
All right, you know something? That's a good roll. These are something called homunculi. Homunculi. I don't even know exactly how to pronounce it. And what they are little. They're like little summoned.
Evil.
No, they're like summoned. Humanoid, like they're summoned like creatures that are created by, powerful mages.
Okay.
There's two of them. And what you know of them is that each one is created by a master. You also know that if for any reason the master... It's funny you asked the question earlier. If a master dies, so would their summoned homunculus.
And that the master can only create like a singular one, or could they create multiple?
One.
Yeah, but we don't know whether Mistra
That
created
implies
these.
that there's two masters.
I mean, the thing is that we don't know if Mistra created them, in which case they belong to Mistra, or if Estandia is just renting them. I mean, it's their gift.
That's
I don't know.
true. If they
Yeah.
can
You
get
could
the house,
You could ask them who their master is.
ask him how to
You could
get
also
that.
ask them. Yeah, exactly. You could ask them how to get out of here. What else is
Like,
around here? Are there
What
any
was,
other traps?
what was
Are
this
there any
guy
monsters?
doing? Like, didn't even walk into a kitchen once and like.
So, actually, I do have a question for you guys. Do you guys happen to know how we'd be able to exit this manse, whatever?
Well, we never
Have you ever
leave
seen-
and we don't know how to leave this mansion. This is our world.
But you've never seen anybody leave, like your previous like the other people that have been here, you've never seen them leave. I mean, you guys are very close to the exit door. You didn't pass by it as it was
here in
being
this
activated.
Room. We cook, we clean, we take
Well,
care
cleaning
of the
implies
cats.
that you move to other rooms, right?
Sometimes. But we never
And
had a
you've
reason
never-
to leave.
I'm not asking if you've left. I'm asking if you've seen other people leave.
Oh, yes, of course. Fistandia
I-
would leave.
Do you know how she would activate her ability to leave,
No,
or
she's very powerful.
Is she here?
is she here?
Is she in residence?
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Oh,
How
Whom do
long?
you serve?
I can't really tell time very well, but it's been a
Fair.
long time.
Who may I ask who your master is?
Well, my master is Fistandia, and my name is Cumin. And this
Carrot?
is Coriander.
cumin and coriander.
That's cute.
These were the names that our masters has given us.
Was Fistandia always your master?
Yes, she was my master.
What
In other
about
words,
Coriander's master?
His name was Freyet.
Freyot.
Write that down, write that down.
Freyot.
Freyot.
So
Is
people
he in
use the
residence?
vitamin D. That maybe these people have been feeding.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
You can ask.
I'll ask them
Yeah.
for some refreshments. I'll pop in and be like, well, since you're offering.
All I can
Some
tell
water,
you,
maybe some fruit.
cat.
All I can tell you is that Fistandia used to go into the planetarium for a long time. Sometimes she would just disappear there for a long
Where's the
time.
planetarium?
Yes, the planetarium is upstairs.
If there's a mansion inside this mansion,
Yeah.
Are there any
Maybe
traps?
we'll head upstairs before going downstairs.
Are there any?
Any places you've been told to avoid?
Yes.
Well, we sometimes go from room to clean. And we cook, and we take care of the cats. The only
Cats,
thing that
plural?
Fistandia told us never to touch are the books with the letters on them.
Thanks,
One with the faces?
Matthias.
They
The ones with the
didn't want us to
faces?
misplace them, I guess.
Oh,
But are there
That
any?
might be-
Are there any creatures? Are there any creatures in residence that might be hostile to us?
Well, the only creature that I know of was an imp. Do you know what an imp is?
yes. I think the imp's no
Fistandia
longer
summoned this
here.
imp a long time ago, but I haven't seen it.
Well.
The imp is no longer here. Is where I'd put my money.
The only other
What we
thing
found-
that I know of
Yeah.
is those fairy dragons. They're very mischievous and they like to play, but they are harmless. They probably won't hurt you.
What about some books
Fairy
that would?
dragon?
We had a little trouble with some books that decided they didn't like us. You know anything about that in one of the rooms?
To be fair,
Wait
they
a
didn't
second,
actually hit
yeah.
us.
What do you mean that they didn't like you? We always see something strange over at the library. Something keeps building up piles of books, and we keep cleaning it, and then the next day, there's piles of books again.
I think
I
we fixed
get
the
the
problem
feeling.
for you.
Yeah,
But you might have to clean it
that
one
problem
more
might be
time.
solved.
Well, it just creates a bit of a nuisance.
Are you allowed to accompany us?
Well, I mean, we
You have
generally
questions about
stay
room?
here and we cook and we take care of the cats.
Or can one of you come with us?
Well, what would you like? What would you like us to do?
Accompany us. Just give us a tour. We'll walk around. You tell us a little bit about the rooms. what Fistania might have done with in those rooms? Maybe tell us a little bit about
I don't
who else
really.
has been
We
mentioned.
never. Fistandia never really let us in on any of her business, so I don't know if I could really be of any help. I don't
What
know
about
if she did.
well, what about Matthias? Are you familiar with him?
Atreus? Oh, you mean the one that was here for the last
Yes.
Yep, just
week
before.
or so?
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I don't know anything about time, so to me, a
The
week,
last little
a
bit.
year.
Your last person
That's
in
the
residence
same.
before us. Whoever was in
We made him
residence.
food. We cleaned up after him.
Is
Did you meet
anybody
him?
else?
Yeah.
No one else has been here in quite a while. You're the first people to come since the man.
Did you ever
Well,
meet the man? Did he meet you?
Yes,
Okay.
Was he nice to you?
yes, he was very nice.
Well, that's good to hear.
Is there anybody else in residence besides the man? Or
Nobody
currently?
that I know of. Well, you're welcome
That's
here.
fun.
You can stay as long as you like. We have plenty
Well,
of
thank
food.
you.
You also
Thank you.
notice that there's a whole bunch of cats in the corner of the kitchen here. There's a bunch of bowls over there. They're filled with water, and there's kitchen scraps.
Who brought the cats?
Okay.
These cats belong to Fistandia, and we've been taking care of them ever since.
Aw.
Well, I guess there are worse places to be trapped, I guess.
That's true.
This is a nice house. Not that I know any differently. It's the only house I've
also
ever been in. But
Well,
I
it's
like
a pretty
it.
nice house.
And Delson, any other questions?
Yeah.
I'm out right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so you basically know that the way the homunculi work is that they're essentially summoned, and they can only have one master. A master can only have one of them at a time.
Okay.
So who would know about Freyot?
And you also know that
Absolutely nothing.
just by the fact that these two are around, their masters must be around somewhere too, because they have to be alive in order for them to stay alive, for the homunculi
What-
to be around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When was the last time
There's no,
Freyot
like-
was in residence?
Both
Okay.
Fistandia and Freya used to come here. But
Together?
again, yes. But again, I haven't seen them in a long time. Seems like forever.
Well,
Well, when we manage to get out, we should ask about Freyot. Then.
Could we do, like, I don't. Maybe it's too obscure, but like, Fistania seems to be a pretty prominent mage and author. Could we roll some sort of knowledge check to know if any of us know about Freyot, or if he also was a mage who wrote books similar to Mordenkainen and
Tysania, yeah.
I don't.
Sorry, you didn't see very much from Freyot. I mean, in the memoirs, actually, you would have noticed a couple of memoirs in there, and you get the impression that Freyot might have just been Fistandia's boyfriend or husband,
Okay.
or some
Okay.
love interest.
can we
Partner,
show the cover of one of the books and ask if that person has ever been here? Mordekainen?
Yeah. Sure, I'll take one out and show him.
Okay, so you mean one of the letter books?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull the letter book out, and Cumin just kind of like steps back.
No, I'm not supposed to go near those. I was told not
Have you
to
ever
touch them.
seen the person whose this face is?
She hesitantly kind of like comes closer and looks and says,
No.
Okay. I'll put the book away.
okay. All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we stop for tonight? Because I know it's getting kind of late. And
yeah.
and All right. Why don't we stop this for tonight? Is that okay? Everybody good? I think it's pretty
Yeah,
late.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
We gotta get Jim in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I figured we go a little bit later on the weekend, but all right, maybe during the week at some point, if everybody's around, we can kind of continue this. But good job, everybody. I think this is everything's going well. All right, I'm gonna stop the video, and I'll put it up.
Okay.